experience. Last time I filed and I made a list of that return my package back to me. I never knew until they returned it. I had to fail because there was something I missed it out. So it can be as complex as that. So that's why we thought to have this information section. And uh, just briefly, we are putting this event together. We are from Spotlight Campus Fellowship is a faith-based organization here in UNH. So we meet every Sunday 9 a.m. at number 10 New Road at Lighthouse. So if you know Lighthouse, it's very close to almost. Want me to use this? I don't what. It's too loud. Okay. I just pray folks will not be very uncomfortable when I'm becoming too loud. So we meet there every Sunday, 9 a.m., for fellowship, friendship, worship, and the word. And of course, on Wednesdays, we meet on Zoom at 9 to 10. We believe, as students, we also believe that there is a life beyond being a student and doing research. We believe in that, that connection we have with God has a lot. It lives in us and makes us, to be more efficient in different areas of life. So we believe so much in prayers. We meet every Wednesday on Zoom, 1 hour, 9 to 10, to pray unto the Lord. So we are putting this together in partnership with International Student for Christ, and that's is a global organization. Of course, it's not currently in UNH, but it's been in many states in the United States. So we are in partnership with them, and we are lucky to have our resource person who happens to be the vice president of this very organization, International Student for Christ. So just moving on, I want to quickly introduce our spokesperson because she's really running out of time. For your knowledge, she's doing this pro bono that is free of charge. I mean, it takes a lot to bring a tax professional to come and give information section free, and it's because of the passion she has for us and also for students. So her name is Adiola Adeni. Just a brief bio about her. She's a financial accountant with over 2 decades of experience. She has a master's in accounting and in MBA and an MBA in finance and management. She is privileged to encounter the Lord Jesus Christ early with consistency and passion for God's word. She is a teacher of God's word, a humble wife, a dedicated mother, and an exceptional career woman. She is currently a business and financial consultant at My Business Consult. She loves to give her best to others because she believes that giving hope to the hopeless is the essence of her living. She believes the purpose of life she believes the purpose of life is to bring glory to God in whatever she does, and this shapes her involvement in everyday activities. She loves teaching and encouraging young children and young adults to thrive. She's an author of the book Grace That Sets the Pace and Holds the Ace. Of course, this book is on Amazon. If you care to buy, you can just look it up on Amazon. And she's also a career mentor to many who have successfully pursued their careers in different fields of life. She serves as a board member and finance director in different non-profit organizations in the United States. And she is, like I mentioned, the vice president of the International Student for Christ organization, which is a non-profit, non-denominational global organization. She is happily married and blessed with children. Join me as we welcome Adiola Deni to the platform as she takes the stage. You're welcome. You can follow this. You don't need to jump like this. You just follow the staircase.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to be in your midst this moment. Yeah, and one of the reasons why I choose to do this is because I was once an international student like you all. And I believe that someday, every one of you, will become a permanent resident of this land. You will even have your citizenship in Jesus' name. So this organization, which Pastor Justin has talked about, is International Student for Christ. It's a Bible-based organization, and this seminar or workshop, we are in partnership with Deeper Life Bible Church, and they have a campus fellowship here. So I will advise you, if you don't have a place of worship, you can fellowship with them. Pastor Justin is the one pastoring in that Deeper Life Bible Christian Church. So I want to continue with today's discussion, and I'm going to be fast because we don't have time. And I know that a lot of you have questions, and I hope I'll be able to attend to all your questions. If I cannot attend to all, you can call me. I'm going to give you my number, or you send me an email which I will attend to. So today's discussion is based on tax filing guide for international students. When we talk of international students, who are the international students? Everyone that comes to this nation that is not what? A permanent resident and a citizen, that are what? International students. And as an international student in this country that you are non-resident alien. What does that mean? It means that your stay in this nation is temporary. There is hope that you are going to leave someday. So if there is hope for you to leave someday, the government of this nation wants everybody that has lived or stayed in this nation above 180 days to file taxes. If you have lived in the United States above 180 or 183 days, you are expected to file taxes. And that is the reason why, as an international student, filing taxes is very, very important. And your visa that you have, part of the requirement for you to maintain that status is, one of it is tax. You have to file your tax every year. So I hope you get that. So when we talk of tax brackets for year 2023, this changed. But for year 2023, this is what we have. If your income is between 0 to 11,000, your tax bracket is 10%. If your income is between 12 to 44, 12%. From 44,726 to 95,375, 22%. From 95 to 182 is 24%. From 182 to 31 is 32, while 231,000 to 578,125 is 35%. When you look at this tax bracket, you always see that it's a progressive. Is progressive. So the tax aspect of the United States is a progressive tax. It's a progressive tax. So the more you earn, what that means is that the more you earn, the more you pay. So as an international student, filing tax as an international student, the reason why you need to file tax as an international student, one, to receive a tax refund from excess tax payments. What does that mean? Your employer is expected to withhold some taxes from you. And if the amount withheld from you is greater than what it should be, at the end of the day, you'll be given the money back. That is what we call refund. And I want you all to know, because a lot of international students thought that tax season is a season of charitable giving, it's a season of free money. No, it doesn't work like that. Taxes in United States the purpose of it is to reconcile what your employer remits to the government with what you have. The W-2 that you have, government also, they has it. So the reason why you are doing these taxes, why governments want you all to do, is to check with what your employer has submitted to them, whether it's accurate. If it is excess, you will be given money back, which we call refund. If it is lower, you are going to pay back. And paying back is what we call the amount due to government, you are going to return it back to them. That is the reason why you see that at the end of the day, some people, after filing their taxes, they end up what? Paying back. Don't be surprised when you pay back. And what you can do for you not to be paying back is, when you are hired, employer always give you all a form called W-4. How many of you remember that form? Are you all working? Okay, I'm going together. Whether you work or you don't work, you're expected to still work, to file. I'm going together. But for some of you that are working, your employer will always give you W-4. In that W-4, the third stage of that W-4, you will see what we call dependent claim. So if you think that you are married, you, your wife, and your children, if you, let's say for example, you put 4 there, you are telling your employer that from your paycheck, they should withhold 4, that you have a 4 dependent. And when they withhold 4 dependent from you, that simply means the money you are going to get at the end of the day is going to be higher, because little taxes will be what? Will be withheld from your money. And that will let you at the end of the day to pay back if you want to do your task. But the advice that we always give, or the tax strategy for every one of you, is when you receive your W-4, that third stage, that step 3 that is tied to dependent claim, always put 0 there. When you write 0 there, appropriate withholding tax will be what? Will be taken away. So at the end of the day, there is probability that you are going to get money back, because you are not claiming any dependence. Are you getting that? I want you to know that. That is the only avenue that you may end up not paying back. But let's say you put 1, you put 2, you put 3, definitely they will deduct little taxes from you. Your paycheck will be a little bit big, but at the end of the year, when you are filing your taxes, be rest assured that you are going to pay back to the government. And you can still reach out to your HR if you still want to correct it. You can still reach out to them that I now realize that my W-2, the section of claim dependence, I don't want to claim anything again. I just want to have a 0 there. They can amend it for you, which will enable you not to be paying back. So also, another reason why you need to file taxes in this nation is the visa that you carry, as I've said earlier, requires that you must file taxes. Because at the end of the day, maybe you want to change your status from student to permanent resident, which we call green card. They may ask you to submit your tax return. And if you have been filing wrongly, there is a penalty for that. That can lead your green card to be denied. So it's always good to file properly and file accurately. Don't fill the form you're not supposed to fill. Fill accurate form. And today, I'm going to let you to know the form that you're supposed to be filling as international student. Avoidable tax penalty. There are some penalty that government can actually fine you, that government will say, okay, because you did not file on time, or because you did not file accurately, or because you file, what you pay is lesser than what you should pay, you are going to be penalized. And I've said earlier that, especially international students, for some of you that want to remain in this country, someday you may want to change your status. You may be denied as a result of not filing accurately. Not that you didn't file, you filed, but you did not file accurately, or you were late in filing. And for every one of you, I want you all to know that the deadline for taxes in this year, 2004, is April 15. Anything above April 15 is what? Is late. And when it's late, it is what? You can be penalized. You can, government can ask you to pay a certain sum of money, or someday, if you need to do anything with government and they request for your tax return, it can actually deny you of some government benefits. Exemption on employment. I want you all to know today that as an international student in this nation, your employer is not supposed to take out of your money what we call social security taxes or Medicaid taxes, whether now or during OPT. I've seen a situation whereby some students are doing their OPT. I believe you all know what this OPT is called, optional practical training, or your CPT, curriculum practical training. When you are doing either of those two, let your employer know that you are an international student in this land, and they should not withhold out of your paycheck social security and Medicaid taxes, because this is part of the tax that employer always wants take back from someone's paycheck. But being an international student, the law permits you not to pay for those two. So you need to know that now, because I've seen a situation whereby an international student working, and the employer is still deducting social security and Medicaid from the person's paycheck, until I let the person know that you need to know this. Your employer is not supposed to deduct it from you, because you are non-residents in this land. So you must note that. Very, very important. Tax form for non-residents. As a non-resident in this nation, the tax form that you're supposed to fill is 1040 NR. Note that 1040 NR. When you end up filing 1040, it is wrong and you can be fined, you can be penalized for that. The tax form that you're supposed to fill is 1040 NR. A lot of people are filing 1040. 1040 is for the resident and is for citizen. You are not supposed to fill that. Please note it. And for some of you that are not working, whether you work or you don't work, government still expects you to file a return. If you're not working, the form that you are going to fill is 8343. And for 8343, you don't need social security. You don't need tax ID. The only thing that you need for that form is your driver license, if you have any, or your visa page or your passport page. That's what you need. Do you get that? For some of you that are not working, you are still supposed to file a return. And the form you will fill is 8843. You will fill it manually and submit it, mail it to Federal Revenue Service. It is very, very important. The essence of that is for you to let the government know that you have stayed in this nation for so days, and that will be counting towards the day you want to get your green card in this nation. I've talked about tax deadline, which I said is April 14 of this year. Any tax that you file above these dates, it is totally going to attract penalty, which I don't want you all to be penalized, and it can affect anything you want to get from the government. Just know that. So tax form. These are the tax form that you will get from people you work with, or from businesses you get involved, or from investments you get engaged in. When we talk of W4, I made mention of it earlier. This is a form that your employer will give to you. And the essence of that is for you to be able to communicate to your employer the amount of withholding taxes that you want them to be what? Taken from your paycheck. And I've given you a professional advice. Don't always claim any dependence so that you may not end up paying back at the end of the day. W2, you all know W2. For some of you that are working, W2 is the wages or salary statement. At the end of the year, when the total amount of money or the total salary you have received, your employer will give you a statement, and it is this statement that tax professional will ask you if you want to file with a tax professional that cannot have your W2, or if you want to file yourself, you are going to need that W2 to be able to file accurately. 1099B. Under this 1099B, we also have what is called 1099 interest and 1099 dividends. All these forms are brokerage forms. They are tax form. If you have a savings account or any account that you are getting interest from, at the end of the year, your banker will send a 1099 interest to you. This is a tax form also that you need to be able to what? To file your tax accurately, because that money, that interest is a source of income for you in United States. Let's say you have stock. If you are an investor, at the end of the day, the company that you invested in will give you dividends. And that dividends, at the end of the year, they will give you a tax form. That tax form is called 1099 dividend. And that form also, you need it because it will reflect the total amount of dividends you receive. And it's also a source of income for you. 1098T, you all always get that. This is called tuition statements. This aspect, you are going to report it. For some of you that you work in the school as grad assistant, research assistant, or that teaching assistant, they will always give you this form. I want you to know this form that they give to you is not just for you. It's not for you to receive money from the government. It's for your employer has already made known to the government that this person will pay for his or her tuition, and this is the total amount we've paid this person. So your employer has already remitted to the government. So they expect you also to talk about it in your tax form, so that what your employer remits to the government will be reconciled with what your employer gives to you. So that tuition statement is not for you to get money back from the government. It's for reconciliation purposes. 1095A. This is health insurance. It's also a tax form. For some of you that have insurance from marketplace, because it is important in this nation that every one of us must have insurance. It is as an international student, you must have insurance. And at the end of the day, they will send 1095A to you. It's also a tax form that you need to file your taxes. Deduction and credits. In these aspects, know one thing. If you are filing 1040, you will be claiming standard deduction. And as an international student, standard deduction is not meant for you. As an international student, the deduction that you must use is what we call itemized deduction. So when you file accurately, you are going to, because 1040 NR, itemized deduction has been what? Has been configured into it. But when you file wrongly, you will be forced to take standard deduction, and that is going to make what you are reporting to be wrong. And when you pick standard deduction, you will end up getting money back, which is going to, it may affect you at the end of the day. So itemized deduction is what every international student must claim, not standard. And for some of you that your country has a treaty with United States, you are free to claim standard deduction because your government has an agreement with United States. For some of you that your government does not have agreement with United States, it is itemized deduction that you are going to claim. Student loan interest. For some of you that actually borrow money from the bank, you are going to get 2005 as a credit if you borrow money from the bank, because you know when you borrow from the bank, you'll be paying interest. So the government will end up giving you a tax credit of 2005. It's not that they will give the money to you, but that money will reduce your tax liability. So let's get it. It's to reduce your tax liability. Tuition credit. This tuition credit is for residents alone. Now, for the purpose of taxes in this nation, if you have spent above 5 years in this nation, for the tax purposes, you will be filing 1040, not 1040 NR. In the face of law, for tax purposes, you have become a resident. You are no more non-resident. And I want you to get it. For you to be able to claim that, you must have spent above 5 years in this nation. This simply means that the day you clock 6 years in this nation, if you want to file tax in that year, you will file 1040, because for the purpose of taxes, you are now what? A resident. Do we get that? Your status has changed for the purpose of taxes, and when you become a resident, you have opportunity to claim some things that can be more what? Beneficiary for you. You will all get there in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, we also have American Opportunity and Lifetime Learning credits. These two credits are for residents. They are not for international students. Until an international student that has getting to the stage of residence for the purpose of taxes, you can be benefit from that credit. And the maximum you can get for that is 25. Do not forget that 25 is to reduce your tax liability. So we've come to the conclusion of the tax filing for international students. If you have a question, I will be glad to answer all your questions. So thank you all for your time. So my phone number is on the screen, and my business email is on the screen. So I want to question.
If someone wants to get
Okay, because I'm here today, if you want to file with me, I will receive 150 from you. I'm giving you a discount. Actually, if you're filing with me, if not because I'm here, it's 250. But because I'm here today and I love international students, if you want to file with me, I will charge you 150.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So I do not serve for years, but sometimes much. So charge something that now I just want to ask that money, is it like school or some of us know that? Is it like the school takes that and adds it to our tax? That money, that like tax, or is it not file? I just don't get
What do they call the money they withhold from you?
non-resident tax.
It's withholding taxes. They give it another name. It's part of the federal taxes that they should withhold from you.
So they just take.
Yes.
So meaning by the time you file at the end of the year,
Yes.
your money should be like
If they take above what they should take, government will give you money back. Yes. Did that answer your question? Yeah.
I just I don't find it. After that, so that's what I do.
What do you have to do? What?
In some states, I knew that students get some money back, and some states they have to pay. So, what will happen in this case as a UNA students? For me, as a Bangladesh international student.
No, thank you for that question. Since you came late, I said that earlier. As an international student, when you file correct form, there is probability that you may not end up, if you want to get money back, it means that the money they withhold from you is small. Based on that, you will get money back. But if the money that your employer withhold from you is not much, you may not get money back. But a lot of people are filing wrongly, filing wrong form. Because a lot of professional tax preparer or a lot of tax professionals are not specialized on international student taxes. It's my own specialty because I've seen a lot of students calling me and say, man, last year or last 2 years, one professional helped me and I got 3,000, I got 4,000. And I asked them, can I see the form they fill for you? Ask me which form, 1040. They are filing one form for them, which will put them in trouble at the end of the day. Some this year, I have to do what we call tax amendment for them to correct all the wrong filing they've done, and they are going to return the money they've collected wrongly back to the government in order for them not to be in trouble. So when you file rightly and your employer did not withhold above from your money, you may not really get money back. Because in New Hampshire, we don't pay taxes. We don't pay state taxes. So if peradventure they deduct that from you, you will get that back. Did you get it? Did that answer your question? Question.
Thank you. It's a follow-up on your question. Yeah, I didn't get it like entirely. So we are all, I mean, as internationals, charge these international alien non-resident tax. I don't know how to. And it's pretty weird because, like, I don't know two persons that are charged the same amount. I know people from the same country that are charged like different amounts.
Yeah.
People from same that have been like for the same time at UNH and they're charged different amounts. It's a very strange like tax.
I will explain it.
So, yeah, like two questions regarding that thing. I don't know if you know. Is that a state tax that it's like paid through the? Also, this is charged through our tuition bill.
Yeah.
It's like it appears on my bill like this thing. So first, I don't know if it's really a tax that is charged by the government. I don't know if state or federal, or if it's a fee that UNH calls tax. I don't know. And the second is like, can you, in the case that it is a federal tax, can you use that as a deduction on your 1048 NR?
I will answer everything. Are you okay now? Are you done with your question?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. The answer to your first question is we are all here from different countries. Some country, specifically like Indian, China, some country has what we call treaties, agreements with United States. And the agreement is when our citizens come to your country, don't tax them. Do you get it? So for that kind of a country, for people that come from such country, if they end up filing their taxes, because as a non-alien in this country, as non-resident alien, you are expected to file taxes based on income made in United States alone. But the moment you become resident alien, your pay or your income will be taxed based on worldwide income. Like for example, I'm in Nigeria, like that. Now, I'm a resident. If I file my taxes, I will be taxed based on the money, income I made from Nigeria and from United States and from any other country that I make money from. Because I'm a citizen, I'm a resident. Do you understand? But for you international students, for the purpose of being an international student, you will only be taxed based on the income derived in United States alone. Are you getting that? If you are making billions in your country, it's not a business. But the moment you become a permanent resident, the moment you become a citizen, you will be taxed based on worldwide income. You need to know that. So that is the reason why people have different tax refund. For example, someone called me yesterday and said, "Ma, my friend got 3,000 and I did not get anything. I still need to pay back." You cannot compare your friend's tax issue with yours because you are different person. Your cases are different. Maybe the country that your friend come from may be a country that has an agreement with United States. But for some of, I believe every one of you are from New Hampshire. Every one of you, because you are in New Hampshire, you are not supposed to pay state taxes. When they deduct anything tied to state taxes from you, at the end of the day, you will be refunded. They will give it back to you at the end of the day when you file your tax accurately. Did that answer your question?
Yes. Is that
Yes.
More than, sorry, it was more related to this UNH tax that appears on our bill
Yes.
rather than like the agreement that it might be in between countries. Like this specific tax, I mean, we're all grad students, we all make about the same money, and the difference on that tax sometimes is pretty big. I know people who has paid like 600, people who has paid like 100, and all the colors in between. Um, so it was, yeah, it was like, I don't know if you know something about a tax like that.
Yeah, what I know is any taxes deduct from your money, if it is exceed what the federal government is expected from you, federal government will give you back when you file your tax. They will return it back to you. You cannot be, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Another question. We have, I think, few of our brethren on Zoom. Are they also going to be considered for the discount?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
For the purpose of tonight's section, just let me know that you are in my section. I'll give you the discount.
Oh.
Yep. Any more questions?
Yeah, I had a question.
Okay.
So the school said that they were going to give us like an app, Glacier app,
Okay.
for us to use to file the taxes.
Yeah.
But I wanted to find out if there's a consequence for using any other kind of like app or anything like that to file for the taxes.
Okay, that is a very good question. if your school says that use this app, the reason why they are saying it is that they knew that a lot of you are not knowledgeable enough to know the form you are supposed to fill. So if you end up, because some tax software are not for non-residents, and if you use them, if you use such tax software, you will end up filing wrongly, and you will end up getting unnecessary money back from the government. So it's always good to use a secured, well-known software provided by your school, or you use a professional tax person that is specialized on international student taxes. It's not all professionals. Do you understand? Like, for example, let's say you contacted me to file your taxes for you, because this is my own specialty. I will file accurately for you. But if you end up calling someone else, they may end up feeling, they will tell you, you will get money back, you get like 3,000, 4,000, let me file your taxes for you. And at the end of the day, they will put you in trouble. And according to the tax law, if a professional file your taxes for you and you end up being in trouble, the liability is on you, it's not on the person. So that's it. So if you are patient enough to use your school platform and you know what to do, go for it. Use it. Yeah. Any more questions?
Thank you, man. So I have a question, and it bothers me a lot. I noticed that for even people from the same countries, they have different taxes. Like, it's the varying amount is a large gap. Like, for example, I may be paying $500 while somebody else might be paying $8,000. We are from the same country, and we are being paid almost the same stipend. And so I wanted to find out, is there a reason for the disparity?
There is. I'll tell you. You came late. I've said it earlier. No, the reason is that when that person filed W-2, W-4, which is given to you by your employer, if you ask your employer to tell for, let's say you feel for there's a portion, it's in your W-4, stage 3. That stage says claim dependents. If you did not claim any dependent, at the end of when you receive your paycheck, your money will be higher than I that claim dependents. And we are taking the same, we are on the same level, receiving the same pay. Every month, you claim dependents, I do not claim dependents. My take home will be what? Lesser than you, because I do not claim dependents, you claim dependents. But at the end of the year, when we file taxes, you will pay to the government, I will get refund. It's like you have taken what you're supposed to take before the time. And there's still probability that you will still pay back to the government. Did you get it? It's based on what you feel in your W-4. Okay.
I have a question. Okay, like in that case, you received like a fellowship or a scholarship outside of university, and you received the money on your account directly. So how am I supposed to, how are we supposed to declare that money we received in tax?
Okay, when you receive scholarship outside your university, if the institution that gave the scholarship to you do not send any tax form to you, there is nothing you can do. But if they send a form to you, the form they will send to you is called 1089T. When they send that form to you, it's just to report it. It does not have anything to do with your tax return. It's just that they have sent it to the government. They want you also to report it so that government will see that what they reported to them is same thing to what they sent to you. Any more questions before I leave?
Questions, but I think it would be good to have a personal chat about that. Okay.
And for some of you, if you have filed wrongly before, because I have so many cases at times, a lot of people have filed wrongly before, I can actually help you to do what we call tax amendments. And if you want to do it yourself, the form you will fill is 1040X. It's 1040X. If you are confident enough to do it yourself, you file 1040X to do your amendments. But if you want me to do for you, that would be another charge entirely, because I'm going to review what you've done in the past. Did you get it? So I just want to clarify that, because if you ask me to do your taxes for you, I'm going to ask you, what did you feel last year? If you have filed wrongly last year, I will first of all want to correct your wrong before I do what is right for you, because I will not continue in the wrong thing you've done.
For someone that wants to file, and then how do you get all these forms of
Yeah, Google irs.org. All the forms are there. If you want to do it yourself, all the forms are there. Any more questions?
So information is there. You can always reach her, even for more questions. Maybe that you can just ask it. Thank you so much, ma'am. Really appreciate you for giving me your time. Thank you so much. And we've come to the end of this meeting, this section. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate